Hello and welcome back, my friends. We got a windy day in the backyard food forest, but we're getting ready to pull a harvest, so we're gonna have to narrate this video, so bear with us on that. So check this out. Right behind us over here, we've got the Flavor Delight Aprium tree, just loaded down with fruits. I know I had mentioned in a previous episode I was planning on doing some thinning on this tree, just never got around to it. Now that the fruits are nearly ripe, this fruit over here is really close. Still could probably use at least another couple days before it's at peak ripeness, but the tree's just soldiering up and it's holding on to these fruit. I attribute the robustness to the tree to the years of due diligence helping to create a strong structure, thinning the fruit early on. But we're gonna have to wait a little bit for a harvest from this tree. Over yonder, however, we have the Flavorella Plumcot. Again, one of my favorite fruit trees to grow, one of the most prolific, abundant plants growing in the whole food forest. Now, this used to be a 2-in-1 planting. I had the Plumcot and a Santa Rosa plum side by side, and the Santa Rosa, unfortunately, we lost last year, primarily to pest damage, so I opted to remove that tree from the 2-in-1 planting. Thankfully, we have another Santa Rosa plum tree over on the other side of the yard. But this Plumcot here, my goodness, these fruits are perfectly ripe, so delicious. And when they start to get this little purple tinge on the skin, that's when they're absolutely at their peak. You know, just check this out. So delicious. Now you can see there's a whole bunch of fruits laying on the ground over there. That's because once this tree ripens up, it will drop the fruit, especially if you're getting a lot of wind or if you've got some wildlife like squirrels coming around. It's going to knock a lot of those fruits off. So it's important to get out there and get your harvest done. We're not just harvesting for ourselves today, we're going to be giving some to our neighbors. We're happy to share our abundant harvest with those around us, and actually it's one of the most feel-good things about growing a food forest and having abundance is being able to share it and give some of it away. So we're going to definitely be sharing these today. You can see how the fruits just literally fall off right in your hand. There's a few that are still hanging on. You can see they have very little purple or no purple on them at all. So that's a good thing that we're not having to harvest everything all at once here. We can leave some on the tree, but we're going to reduce the burden of these lower limbs. Some of these limbs are drooping down quite a bit. But again, another tree that we did our due diligence up front. We did proper thinning over the course of the last 8 years. This is the 9th year that this tree has been in the ground. And because of that, we've just built a robust structure that's able to hold on to fruit like this. But this Flavorella Plumcot, I just highly recommend to anybody who's into backyard gardening or if you're starting a little backyard orchard. Just such a resilient tree and a delicious fruit, so much abundance. You're not going to want to miss out on this variety. Now we picked this tree up as a bare root from our local nursery. It was grown by Dave Wilson Nursery. So you can find those trees at many different locations in nurseries or online. So we got a good harvest of the Plumcots. I'm just coming back around. I just want to make sure there's none of these Apriums that we can harvest. Our neighbor particularly was fond of the apricots. At least that's what they were calling the Aprium tree because they look like apricots. And unfortunately, our apricot tree here next door, we harvested all that was there. We didn't get a super abundant harvest this year. The wildlife took a liking to the apricots this year, and so we shared quite a bit of it. There's a couple still hanging, but they've been bitten into by the birds. Over here we've got the Loquat tree. Got a couple dead branches here. I've dealt with a little bit of disease and dead branches on this tree this year, but that's okay. This tree is very resilient, the Loquat, so I'll just be pruning those out. But we still got some nice fruit hanging on the tree. I've been harvesting a few every day and they are just absolutely delicious right now. Loquats are one of those fruits that you really want to wait for them to fully ripen on the tree before you enjoy them. The taste difference that you experience when the fruit is not fully ripe compared to when it is is completely worth the wait. The fruit is so delicious when it's fully ripe. Now, I'm not sure the variety of this Loquat tree. It was a gift from a family friend, but I have a feeling that it may be the Golden Nugget Loquat, since it has a very similar fruit set as the Golden Nugget does, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And of course, we love to graze and enjoy the harvest while we're out picking. And as always, I'll be saving the seeds from the Loquat tree. And Loquat's one of those trees, if you want an exact replica of the mother plant, a clone, then you're going to want to take either a cutting or do an air layer of the tree, and that way you'll get the exact same. Otherwise, you'll get slight variances with the seeds when you're planting them, but could turn out to be a good thing, so who knows. Next, we are going to head over to the Goji Berry plants. They're loaded down with ripe fruit right now, and it's just a constant flow of ripening of the berries. The stuff mostly on top of these bushes gets taken by the birds, which is fine. The low-hanging fruit, the stuff that the chickens doesn't jump up and get, so about medium height is where we get our largest harvest. And the berries right now are looking orange and red, but they're both very ripe and delicious. We got some very large gojis. And check out the Goji tunnel. There is no structure creating this Goji tunnel. It's just the natural habit of the Goji berries drooping those branches up and over whatever structure you may have growing. Here we've got a 4-foot wire fence, and those branches just hang over and droop and create a little tunnel. And what's cool about this is when you go inside, you can harvest a lot of berries that the birds aren't getting to. They just don't see them under there. And look at those beautiful gojis. Such a special treat. Alice just picked up a few of the Goumi berries. We still got a few of those hanging, so we'll add in some of those as well. And I'm also going to throw in a few peaches that I harvested the other day. And there we've got a nice little gift package here for the neighbors. Well, the wind has been a serious issue today. Thankfully, we don't have any damage to speak of in the garden, but it has been hard to film. But we were able to get the footage for you and a bit of narration, put this video together for you guys. Anyways, we sure do appreciate everyone tuning in today. We hope you're all having a wonderful day, staying positive, getting out into the garden, getting a few things planted, getting a few things harvested. Always does wonders for the soul. And so with that, take care, everyone. Until next time, this is Dan and Alice from plantabundance.com. We'll be talking to you again real soon.